Hello, everybody, and welcome to my kitchen. I am Dr. Sandra Scheinbaum, the founder and CEO of the Functional Medicine Coaching Academy, and I have a special guest in my kitchen today. This is Dr. William Davis. You all know him from Super Gut and Wheat Belly, and he has an incredible yogurt recipe that he has been doing, and our previous video showed you how to make this wonderful gut healing yogurt, and now there's something new that he's going to show us. So I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Davis, who has a special surprise, something new that he's going to be sharing with you.
Thanks, Sandy. So if you've been following Sandy and my conversation, you know that the third microbe in this SIBO yogurt mixture is Bacillus subtilis. We replaced the Bacillus coagulans because it was just unreliable in fermentation, getting crazy numbers, with the Bacillus subtilis, which is kind of foolproof. And so we like doing things inexpensively. So you could buy a probiotic with Bacillus subtilis, you can do that. Or you can buy something like this. There are several kombucha products. This one is called Vital Life, VITALIFE, $2.19 at Aldi's. There's also a product at Costco. Look at the label. There's several others. You want to see if it says Bacillus subtilis, SUBTILIS. Looks like subtilis, but it's subtilis. So that's going to be a source of our microbe. You could use a probiotic, but this is so easy, so inexpensive. That's the way we've been doing it. So very simple. It's like planting tomato seeds in your backyard. These are the seeds, okay? So I had to pour out maybe a half cup from this juice. You want a juice that has no preservatives, no potassium sorbate, no sodium benzoate, because that will kill the microbes. We don't want that. We just want juice, simple juice, right? And people say, oh, there's too much sugar in the juice. Well, the magic of fermentation is that the microbes will metabolize, will consume the sugars, and the end product, if done properly, should have little to no sugar in it. So you're safe. If you're on a low-carb lifestyle, as you should be, you're not getting a lot of sugar with this process. So we're going to take some of this kombucha. It's not really kombucha, right? Kombucha is made with a SCOBY, a symbiotic collection of bacteria and yeast. This is just one bacteria. It's not really, but it's called kombucha because it tastes like kombucha. And we're going to pour maybe quarter to half cup into this juice. So as you can see, I had to make some room and pour some off, and then cap, agitate a little bit, get the microbes mixed, but then be sure about this step, loosen the cap, because you're going to see at about 24 hours, it's going to be bubbling, and that's carbon dioxide. If you cap it too tightly, the thing will explode in your kitchen, literally. So you can loosen the cap every now and then. If you see the container bulging, make sure you vent it. Another way to do this would be get vent caps. A lot of your beer brewing stores will have these venting caps that release the CO2 for you. Now for Bacillus subtilis, best method is 90 degrees Fahrenheit for at least 60 hours. Okay, but make sure that cap is loose. Taste it. If it's still sweet, ferment another 12 to 24 hours, taste it again. You don't want sugar, right? So 90 degrees, 60 or more hours. And then when you're done, drink a quarter, half cup, once, twice a day, something like that. And the subtilis is a fantastic microbe because it is like Reuteri and Gasseri, a colonizer of the small intestine and a producer of bacteriocins. And the subtilis has a broader spectrum of antibiotic effects than the Reuteri and Gasseri. The Reuteri and Gasseri are most effective for what are called gram-negative species, like E. coli, Salmonella. But the subtilis has added bacteriocins effective against gram-positive species, Staphylococcus, Enterococcus, Streptococcus. Some people with SIBO will have their microbiome dominated by those gram-positive species. So this adds a very important, broader spectrum of effects. You wouldn't know. It just tastes like soda. In this case, it's going to be mango passion fruit soda. I also like to choose juices that are richer in pectin. They have pulp in them because that pectin is also one of the best prebiotic fibers you can get. So you don't have to have that, but it's an extra plus. If you find a more pulpy juice like this is, you get better biological effects. But simple as that, Sandy.
That is really simple. So how do we make sure it's at 90 degrees? Do we just leave it here in this container and put it on our counter? How would we do that? Or do we put it in a yogurt maker?
So you may have to accommodate the shape of your device and its capacity for changing altering the temperature. So a sous vide would be one easy way. A stick sous vide in a basin, set it to 90 degrees and 60 hours. You could use a yogurt maker, but you probably have to transfer it to a container that fits in your device. I don't know. I think the Instant Pot's can be used for that too. I think so.
I would say the Instant Pot would be a good choice. Yeah.
So whatever, don't make this harder than it is. Any device that allows you to maintain. You know, if you live in Florida or Arizona, you could leave it probably on your patio or something like that where it's warm. You can't do that here in suburban Chicago where it's maybe 40 degrees today. But if you live in a warmer climate, you could also use the outside. You may have to cover it so raccoons don't get it, but you can do it that way too.
Well, thank you so much. I learned something new. I'm going to try this juice, and I bet it'll taste yummy as well and good for you. So thank you so much for being in my kitchen.